Yes, for those of you just joining us, we actually found a custom game to cast right as Garwar was logging in, so you guys get to be spared the pain of watching us play a duo queue game. Aren't you guys so lucky?
Obviously. Anytime they don't have to watch us scrub it up, they're lucky.
Exactly. Now, there's actually some special rules for this custom here. It's all random.
It's supposed to be all random, all normal. We'll see if they can,
Yep.
they can get it done. So the key to this, and this is something that anybody that's watched Thor's streams will tell you, is you got to leave the indicator at random until the time runs out. If you hit it before then, for whatever reason, it doesn't necessarily give you random. I don't know. It messes up a little bit. But yeah, if you just leave it, it's fine.
Yep. I'm just really wondering what kind of role choice are going to come out from the shapers here. Okay. Did we get some balanced teams here? We got Mortal team looks okay.
Did they hit the balanced button? Oh, in terms of players.
Shaper composition. Yeah, pretty balanced actually.
Now, all random, all normal doesn't have to be all tactician, are they? It's a
no, it doesn't.
Game. Okay, they just all set it as tactician. Right. Just making sure
just
they
to
understand.
See what happened.
That's if you do all normal, all bot, or all random, all bot.
Yeah, is somebody gonna need a? Oh wow, were we gonna see a Hunter Fenmore? I don't know, man. That would be interesting.
It doesn't look like they're even gonna go Hunter on the right side.
Wow, all tactician. Okay. So we got a 5-man tack stack on the Spirit team, and we've got Gladiator, Varian, and McKella on the Mortal. This should be interesting.
Yeah, it looks like they're just gonna go lanes. I don't know if there was a confusion about all random on bot or what, but doesn't matter.
Nope, sure doesn't.
This lockup, I gave feedback about this. This lockup is not normal.
No, it isn't, because normally it just loads instantly, just like that.
So I don't know if there was a confusion about all random. No, apologize. That was my audio from the stream feedback. That's wonderful. All right.
Yeah, because
there we go.
Last time we had a team all random, it turned out to be, what was it? 4 Bruisers and Viana. You remember that one? Tanked up Parasite without taking any damage. It was ridiculous. It's just that healing from Viana too strong.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Wow, looks like looks like the players do realize that normal rules are going to apply here. They get to see what a pro game looks like. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Well, it's the closest thing to, like, if somebody hasn't been in spectator mode and watched, then this is the closest thing to it, you know?
Yeah, very true. Uh-oh, is Asherville caught out a little bit here? Oh, man, see, this is why you start Impale on Cerulean, because you flip them like that. I always prefer Impale level 1 on Cerulean. I don't play him much, but...
I don't know. The harass, like, for Tactician, you're pretty harass-starved if you go for Impale, I think.
Well, that's just level 1, though.
Oh, we had a disconnect. Somebody's reconnecting, but that's okay. It's not like they're actually jungling.
Right.
I'm not sure why they put the wards in for jungle.
Yeah, because there are no junglers this game.
Well, nobody went Hunter. I mean, technically they could try to go in jungle once. Like, just to get buffs and stuff once.
Right.
Once they've got their act together, but that's about it.
Yeah, so so it's almost like a Dota 2 style jungle is how it's going to be played. Typically, you'd have one person farming the lane with the others providing harass and support, and then when there's nothing to do in lane, supports can go take jungle camps or buffs or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to make sure they're not standing around making no money, essentially, is the reasoning behind that.
Well, but that doesn't happen in Dawngate. As long as you're doing your job, you're making money as a tactician. You're supposed to be harassing people.
Well, what if they're not in lane? What if they went back to go shop or something, and then they can just pull off and hit a jungle camp or something?
Yeah, the problem there is unless you... I mean, it works if you're building like lots of damage. Otherwise, the amount of time it takes and the damage you take from doing it can be less than beneficial.
Or maybe if you have some sustain built into your kit, like, say, you know, Viridian could probably do it okay once he has a couple levels on him, or things like that. I know we've seen a Cerulean do that to me, just as a Predator, ridiculous numbers of times on stream while we were playing our warm-up games, and while it does work, it is quite annoying on your Gladiator in lane. I'm just gonna say that. Wow, well-oiled machine, all the harass, the flip coming down onto Big Cinca, but not going to be able to follow it up. Big Cinca really, really low. He's got to be very careful. Tess could probably pop him real quick. Going with a flip into a... Oh, wow. More action up in the bottom lane now. Little trades going back and forth between Dragon and Pants Are Delish. Wow. Talk about a name that could throw you off, right?
Yeah, that's
Gar, were you around? Is your mic muted?
No,
okay.
the game just locked up for a second there when I was about to comment. Yeah, Wither, the whole thing that, you know, he likes to yell out Wither, and he's not actually using the ability, but it was an interesting line. I'm not sure if they had his VO line set before they named some of the ability or spells or what, because you'd think that would be a different choice.
Yeah,
just to
you
make
would
things a little clearer, but didn't happen.
Wow, this Ashabel, PessimisticFish just landing all the gales, pushing Sifu and Well-oiled Machine well in behind their binding. But I mean, they should be able to counter push this really well. I mean, between the two Qs of both of the Shapers, they should be able to clear waves fairly well.
You would think, right?
Oh no,
unfortunately,
going down, eating all the damage of the drain.
Yeah.
Auto attack's gonna finish her off.
You got to be very careful with the Viridian. He does a surprising amount of damage if he alternates his abilities and then his auto attack to get those procs off. He can really burst you down.
Well, and the other thing, if he doesn't mind not getting away, if he wants to commit to his engagement, he can pop you for a surprising amount of damage with that surge.
And with a Renzo in his lane, he can just shield himself. They can shield him up. He can withstand any damage that you do back. The Finmore isn't going to be doing tons of damage early. He's not going to be able to burst down the way the Viridian actually can.
No, absolutely not.
So in that situation, you really got to play as a Miquella. You got to keep your abilities to try to get away from that situation. Make sure you have that waltz ready to go. And I mean, there's definitely a point in it. I didn't see if they used it earlier or what. I'm still trying to figure out why they have a Vanquish.
Whoa, a machine coming in.
Sifu's low here. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Yeah, one Gale, and he's going to be done. In fact, Cinca's going to turn on it.
No,
oh, no. Regen just enough health to survive the Gale. Well, Machine in a lot of trouble right now. He blinks in
Long flashed in, blinked in, picked up the kill.
Gosh.
There isn't going to be anything else they're going to do after that, though.
No, absolutely not. Wow, that was just really going super ham.
They have a triple Vanquish set up on the Mortal team. I just tabbed that up for everybody to see. No jungler. No jungler, but triple Vanquish.
Gotta push that lane, right?
I don't know.
Kappa.
I would think you would just want to sit back and farm as much as possible. I mean, they're not... I don't know. I think the Gladiator would want as much farm as possible. It would let you. It would let you get a parasite. That's going to let you like go down and take a buff easier, obviously. But they have a jungler. I mean, they don't have a hunter, but the Moya is jungling. I mean, which is fine. I mean, the hunter role helps, but Moya has her own sustain, so you can actually do that and be okay. Because you're just going to lose out on a lot of money, like a lot of money. I'm sorry, that just Vanquish on a range creep, just that still gets me every time. Sifu coming in, Masterpiece coming up. Is anything gonna happen here? The ult comes down, Viridian. Just using the deep rising to get out? I guess that was interesting.
Well-oiled Machine comes in, ultimate goes down,
heavy
flip
iron
out of Miquella, and down she goes.
Yeah, Sifu had to make that happen. He had sit in that bush for so long. If they didn't get that kill, it was going to be unfortunate. They did leave their top lane open here, but I don't think Finmore's going to be able to turn anything. He can't really clear the minions as quickly as he would need to keep them completely off the binding.
But he ended up actually clearing it in time to push him off and not lose too much off the binding. So I don't know.
And apologies if I call stuff the League version of names. I've been madly watching all the Worlds VODs that I missed over the weekend. The stupid time differences. There were some pretty good esports for people who just like esports, and I like esports. There were some amazing games over the weekend.
All the rotations this game. What is going on?
Well, you got to test, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Cerulean and the Renzo roaming is a little unusual, but the test roaming should just be a matter of fact thing.
Yeah, expected for sure. I'm telling you, I'm loving PessimisticFish.
Not the greatest
here, just landing everything except for the ultimate. But
yeah, you say that as like they're doing not the greatest ultimate ever in the world.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, John Point with the game.
I mean, there's if you're gonna miss an ultimate, you need to use it one of two ways. You need to either use it to force them to disengage off you, in which case you're putting it between you and them, or you need to use it to keep them from running away by dropping it behind them and engaging a fight. Neither of those things was happening. That was just a miss.
Uh-oh.
Oh, bad use of the Moya.
Down goes well-oiled machine, but Shamanum's going to die for it.
Sifu's going down, yeah. Unfortunately, the Moya didn't reposition the ultimate. I'm not sure if there was a clicking issue. Shamanum did disconnect from the game and have to reconnect, so there could be an issue with things working. They're saying in chat it didn't work as they intended. Definitely not. I mean, you want to nail that, and you want to draw them out really far. If they had, yeah, he got caught out. You got to bring that person back after you do the landfall on Moya. If they'd done that, there'd have been no problem. But yeah, Finmore. When you're playing against an assassin like a Viridian and you've got an on-demand stun on Renzo along with his crowd control, you can't play very far out from your turret when you're behind like they are.
I'm sorry, this Vanquish on this Mikella is just.
I know.
I can't get over that, man.
Yeah. It's interesting, but you know.
Uh-oh, Sifu coming in. Does he want to go ham? Moxie sees it.
No, he didn't. He didn't walk out enough for him to see it. That's why he walked all the way into the bush.
Ah, okay.
That was just horrible timing.
And Sifu's still hanging around down there.
What's going on,
What's he going to do with it?
We're doing pretty good. This is the first game of the night, so we're just trying to get our casting pants on. Get into the swing. The waltz in, a horrible choice.
Out again, and this is why you don't waltz in.
Yeah, that waltz is your only defensive ability. The only time you're ever going to want to waltz in is if you have the advantage, and that was again not the best choice for the Asherbell ultimate. In this case, if Asherbell wanted to help, you need to drop that ultimate on the minions. Because the sooner the minions are dead, the sooner those people stop diving your tower.
Wow. And there was Ciddy with that clutch Rendo's Embrace to save well-oiled machine there. I loved it. Right as the Gale landed. See, just like that there, too. Man.
Beer tea, please. We'll probably be doing custom games all night long, as long as we can get 10 people. So hang out, and in between matches, we'll see what we can come up with.
Yeah, I just happened to log in, and Sifu invited me to this game, and you know what? It was about time for us to stream, so you know what? We just said, you know what? Why don't we just cast this game, because it's happening anyway, and we're in it, right?
Yep. And there have been a lot more custom games lately. Like, you can go to the custom game list and look for games. I know there's some scrims going on tonight that are getting casted on another channel. But then, you know, we'll be doing the custom game stuff. A lot of people have been doing that just so people can check out the spectator mode and test it out. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Just gotta go look for them.
Yeah, it's almost like the old days of Dawngate where there was no matchmaking. You just looked in the custom game lobby for you know anything from newbie to veteran to pro, and yeah.
The very first day, that was all you had was custom games, and there was no indicator either back then.
Deep Rising going in. Good disengage from Asherbell, but I don't know if
Varian
going to get out of this.
The Varian just GTFO'd, and that was the smart move.
I don't blame him.
He ended up dying anyway. He ended up dying to Sifu, but You know, I think in that case, yeah, you wanna try to stay alive, but your best bet in that case to stay alive is to stay with your teammates.
Exactly. And you know, sometimes maybe you can get the kill because you know what? Dead opponents do no damage.
So Tess really low. Did we get a? No, I was gonna say, did we get a final payment? She used final payment at some point earlier.
Yeah, she used it earlier in the first engagement. Didn't quite get the kill on the. Actually, didn't. No, she got Varian with it. I thought, didn't it?
No, wrong side.
Oh, wrong side. He got somebody. Who did he target? Oh, it's Viridian. That's right. It was the other V. Oh my gosh.
Flynn goes in. Doesn't really do anything. Sifu's really low.
Really harassed. Yeah, I mean, if Dragon can.
Fish is doing a really good job of landing those gales.
Oh,
and there was a good storm wall.
God. Yeah, just perfect. But the thing is that Viridian can dash twice, so
one
storm roll doesn't completely disengage it. As you can see, Viridian just went right back in after the storm wall.
Yeah, but if you make them dash again, they don't get the same amount of burst damage.
Well,
because they need to proc that bonus. And
he attacked a creep and then went back in. Got it.
My game's locking up. Why is my game always the one that locks up?
I don't know, man. Does your internet just hate you or something?
My internet is fine until I go to cast Stone We'll just leave it at that.
And Dragon going ham again. Caught a little bit out of position. But he's going to have to pop his Soul Rend. He's going to be okay, but oh man, as soon as Viridian gets a Pain, or if Renzo gets a Corruption, Dragon goes in like this, he's going to have some serious problems.
Yeah. What I was trying to say is if you surge in and then you just surge again right after that, and you didn't get your auto attack off, you lost bonus damage.
Moxie caught under the binding.
There's the ult again.
Come in to engage. Ashbel is actually going to land. Here comes Tess coming in, but Sifu is going to go in and take out Michaela, and that's going to cause the rout on the
These rotations
team.
are just wrecking the Mortal team.
No kidding, and this Ashbel's gone. Viridian
a nice Chaos Shell from Viridian. That might actually take Varian out of it, or Viridian actually. He's trying to go after Sifu. There's no way you're going to face Renzo, man. That's not a fight.
No, it's just not going to happen.
And you don't want to stick around either, because his stun's about to be up again.
Yep.
So the stun should come up any second now. Oh, he didn't even need it. They just finished him off. Yeah, you don't stick around in a fight that has a Renzo just auto-attacking people, because he's building up his
inspiration.
Well, his inspired like shields, which will heal, and it's his inspired stun, which is going to shred your armor. And against a team that's all physical, which the spirit side is, that armor shred works for everybody.
Absolutely. Looks like they'll get a well off the kill as well as the binding. They don't want to go for Parasite yet, even though they could. It is a tier 2 Parasite now. It just past 15 minutes. Again, you cray-cray, bro. Well, he's going to W in. There's the W, there's Soul Rend, and here comes the final payment. Going to pick off Cerulean.
ATG-WM was just AFK there.
Yeah.
They were looking at the item shop. They did not know what was going on. They didn't realize the Finmore was there. And honestly, I think if they'd been there to actually join in and participate in that fight, the second the Finmore came out, that would have gone a different way. I'm going to take a real quick look. Finmore has 3 forms and 2 resiliences.
But Finmore going to steal the armor buff.
And then that's okay. Again, he has 3 forms and 2 resiliences.
Yeah.
He's sitting at a 68% armor reduction and a lot of damage.
Wait, is that a duress? I thought I saw a duress go off.
There is a duress on Ashabel, yeah. But that's a big thing with casters lately. Oh, the ultimate just to get out of that. That was actually
he had to. That would have killed him.
Variant's sitting on an ambition with a force and a time, which is a good build for him. But yeah, that duress with an aggression, a life, and a power on the Ashabel. The Moya's sitting on an ambition, resilience, will, and power. And then there's a form and an integrity on Michaela, which explains why she's not doing any damage. There's also a control.
Take Michaela.
Yeah, not the greatest. Just because you're getting dove on all this time doesn't mean you need to buy tons of armor items to stay alive for it.
Oh my God, this Tess going 1v4 here, making it happen.
Doing okay. That heavy iron was great to cut them off.
Throwing them down. Holy crap. But Tess is going to go down finally. Dragon up here just standing in the middle of them, surviving because, you know, he's got all this armor. He doesn't care. It's a full physical team.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, why wouldn't you stack forms against a full physical team? I mean, shoot.
So here's the thing with if you're facing an all-physical team as an AD carry, then that's the one case where I'm going to tell you to just rush Ambition. You do get 30 armor for it, and it's going to be the best like kind of armor and damage item with some sustain against that kind of thing. Outside of that, I mean, you need damage.
Yeah, you really do.
The Tess has built a Vengeance, a Duress, and a Will. I'm not a fan usually of the Vengeance builds on Tess because she's not an auto attacker. I mean, she is a range carry, but she's a burst carry.
Well, I mean,
so those three abilities, getting those three abilities, you don't get them off like you do with other AD carries. Oh, there's a Tailwind.
Here.
Not sure why he wasn't running.
Everybody. But is he going to turn this around? Looks like
he might. He's got a ton of armor. I mean, they've got to realize that. There he goes. Gets a kill on Sifu. He's going to see now they're 3v3 now, so it's even. A little better fight. MoxieWhimsy coming in from behind drops the ult that does absolutely no damage because they don't have any damage items yet. They finished in preservation, excuse me, which is going to give them a little bit of power, I guess.
Yeah, it's 55 power full stack, so
yeah, that's not horrible.
Oh, the Ravenous.
I mean, if you're going for a tanky Miquella build, that's the item you're going to want to get. Let's see if Ashmo can land some Gales. They're really low. MoxieWhimsy could have just tanked that binding. Yep. As much armor.
Good slipstream there.
Ciddy does not want to be there.
Ciddy's
I don't know why
really
he stuck
low.
around.
In fact, he even has to ult just to try to get out. And
oh my God! Picks off the Finn more, but they get him anyway. See, MoxieWhimsy just taking that binding because he's got so much armor. The Renzo did have the Renzo did have a prosperity and a life, so he'll be shopping to boost that up. The Viridian has the prosperity as well with an abolition and aggression and a power. Hopefully, he can finish that off to a conquest.
Sure, that's
Cerulean has a conquest. That's why Sifu's doing so much damage. He's also got a motion and a growth, power will. The Flynn, or I should say the Sergeant Buttersworth, because that's actually the hero. Purity, discipline, 2 wills, a life, and a time.
Didn't finish much there.
Infamous mishaps. What do you mean Tess is a burst carry? Tess is a burst carry because she doesn't rely on her auto attacks to do her damage. She relies on her abilities. That's actually where the most damage out of her kit comes from. Unlike, say, a Miquella or a Varian. Their damage really comes from their ability to auto attack successively. Successively. So, like the Miquella's going to look to get tons of power to stack it up so that when she runs gold standard,
Tailwind coming down, they jump on the shadow and delete him.
4v1 and Renzo was coming, so that was rough.
Yeah, as soon as you saw the Tailwind guy, that you knew there was a kill there. Are they going for Parasite? Yeah, it looks like they are. They're going to chase down this Miquella here first, though. Oh gosh, yeah. Panzer Delish fully committing to the dive here, but looks like the binding is going to dissuade any further aggression. That was Blink and a Drain.
Yeah. So here's
to kill the Miquella.
Here's the thing with a Tess. Normally you're going to build a Tess to burst because of the Q, the way the Q works. Because of all this damage that you get off overdrive, you're going to come in and drop a burst. You're going to do the same thing. Like with your backdraft, these are the big abilities, and then you're going to rely on some of your auto attacks. This fight, man, they're getting a couple kills, but there's only 2 of them.
Yeah, but Drake,
I mean, they're doing what they can. It's stopping the Parasite. So.
Oh my God!
And they're actually turning it. Yeah.
This Armor Fenmore doing everything.
He's up to 5 forms and a Desire.
Yeah, if you notice, the Dragon just walked into the middle of the entire enemy team and did not care one bit. He's got almost 300 armor and 280-ish power. That is ridiculous amounts of damage.
230. The 280 was after I think he hits his
it's after he hits an ability because he's got the green buff. And he was a little low health.
Well, his W will boost his power. It gives him another 50 power right now. He has Unyielding March maxed.
Oh, wow, really? Yeah, he does. Okay. That makes sense.
So yeah, I mean that's 75% damage reduction from everything that the spirit side is doing, and on the spirit side, I'm looking at an aggression on Viridian, and that's it. So that's the only armor penetration that we're seeing on the entire spirit side.
Yeah, it's this Renzo is the only person who's going to be able to set up a kill really on this Fenmore at all, because he's got to pop off this Entirety. But yeah,
so, infamous mishaps. You play Tess a bit more like you would play a mage. So you want things like a destruction. You want a conquest is actually really good because you're going to fire that ability, and then you're going to follow it up with some auto attacks. So you're just going to chunk people out. So you basically want to build so that you have a lot of power. You want some haste, but you'll get the haste off your conquest. You'll get a haste off like an ambition if you go that route. Like, look at that ultimate.
Yeah, that.
Like normally that's not as
down.
Yeah, normally that's not as amazing an ultimate as you would think. Like normally you don't get tons and tons of damage like that was doing, and tons of health back. But because he's all armor, and when he hits that W. He's almost like 250 to 300 power, and he's getting a stackable 32 damage off each one of those. So another 152 damage off each tick of an ability. Because of
mouse
form.
over his tooltip right now. That almost said maximum 370, maximum 525 plus 706 against a target. I mean, that's a 1200 damage ult if you can get it on one person.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's insane. He's doing incredible work. Like, I'm a big fan of Tyler Null's power build, but this one, if you're facing all AD, this is the build. This is it.
Yeah, it is.
He's got all blue items right now, and he's wrecking.
Yeah, he'll upgrade to a preservation and adamants, but he really, and maybe a passion, but he doesn't really need anything else beyond that.
No, yeah. You only have to focus on those 3 items because everything else is just gonna. Everything else can wait because you don't gain anything else after that.
No, you really don't.
That blink in off Sifu. He's doing tons of work though. This is just kind of caught out 3v5. Yeah. It's not really the best situation for the blue team here. The Moya's coming in a little bit. Shamanam's not quite built to take them on completely, but doing okay.
Sinka hiding in the bush.
Varian trying to get away from this, and he does, which is amazing.
He will get away with
Queued one more time by Viridian. I think that would have been it. The dash misses on Shamanon. Well, let's see if
but I'm not
can.
sure Fenmore's going to be able to catch up to Viridian, but oh no,
Fenmore can
land enough to stop it.
Yeah, he's just got to get that unyielding march going. They could probably cut him off. I'm not sure if they necessarily want to hang out here. Flynn's going to come in and lock them down. I think they're just realizing that. Oh!
And
he lands the slow. Perfect. If Dragain had just kept going, he'd have had him. But yeah, that 5-form build, man. Too strong. He's sitting on 4,300 Vim. So he's going to go back and hopefully finish 2 of those off. Maybe all 3 of his purples that he needs. He just needs those 3 main purples. So let's see if he wraps that up here. I'm just going to leave it on. There's one. There's Adamance. There's Ambition. And there's Preservation. So he's done. He's end game. That's all he needs. Like, it doesn't get any better than that at that point. I mean, a little bit, but you know, the Vanguard is the same. So even if you're upgrading to just get a little more power and a little more armor, it's not that much. Like, you'd want to go all Adamances basically from this point on, so that you get 10 more power and 15 more armor off each one.
But even then, I would do potions first to be completely honest.
I would keep solid potion rotations up right now. Oh, is the score cut off? Hold on, guys. My bad. Let me fix that. I had the right overlay. I had the wrong resolution settings.
Uh-oh, PessimisticFish caught out big time here. He's gonna get walked down, but Dragon coming in from behind, doing some serious work against his team with his full build at level 16, 25 minutes into the game. I don't think they can kill him. I think Fenmore is actually unkillable.
Yeah. Definitely in there.
A mortal player has been slain.
You must improve yourself.
I mean, they're going to need some serious penetration coming out, and even then, I'm not sure that's going to help too much.
Infamous mishaps. Wellow Machine is talking about, like, yeah, you can run a tactician test, and in those cases, like, sometimes if you're just running tactician, then those on-hit items that you're attacking people with are going to be nice, but test works as a glad. It just depends on what you're trying to do with your lane and your build and your team. But most of the AD carries can actually be played as tactician, quite fine.
And
so they're trying to do this, yeah. This actually isn't the ideal situation for Fenmore here, because he doesn't have any magic resist. So
exactly.
But this is where those three vanquishes come in really handy, though, and they all had them. Those were the three people with vanquish, and they all used them. So
breaking the meta, ladies and gentlemen, breaking the meta. I'm not even sure it's breaking it. I think it's just like destroying it and throwing it into the cash can and, you know, burning it. So yeah.
Waxeros, a lot of people like Vengeance simply because it's free AoE damage. It just depends. I mean, you have to get 3 attacks on the same target to trigger it, and that means you have to be in a consistent team fight. It's really gonna. I wouldn't necessarily call it a required item. I think it's situational. It just happens in a lot of games. It tends to be good in.
I find it situational, kind of like Betrayal is situational. Kind of like Betrayal is something you build on a carry if, you know, you need to survive against magic damage. I see Vengeance as something as the same.
It's extra
something
armor.
You build to keep rolling.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to remember. Yeah, so you could. It's more armor. It's some nice AoE damage, but a lot of people run that ambition. So maybe if you really need more armor, then you're stacking it up that way. The big difference between Tact and Glad is a Gladiator truly is making their money by last hitting. MoxieWhimsy going down. 2v1, you knew that was going to happen. You have to last hit, period. You should be last hitting lane minions. Not in the jungle, lane minions. And while kills are nice and assists are nice, that's not, you know, I mean, you want to get them where you can, but you shouldn't focus on that. If you're running behind, if you don't have any money, you need to be focused on your CS. This fight's so random, so I'm just gonna keep talking.
It's just everything going off here. Dragon's going to pop his Unyielding March, go in, but he's going to eat a rock to the face, and that's going to disengage it.
So tacticians need to be constantly harassing other shapers. Constantly. So they need to be in lane, in one lane, not roaming between lanes. For the most part. You need to be in one lane. You need to be around dying minions, because that's going to give you more money. And if you can get kills, or if you can be there for assists and stuff, great. But again, your money is harassing the other players constantly.
Yeah,
so they're going to go in on Dragain. He's the total bait. But the only thing that can hurt him is the Guardian. So he just walks out of the Guardian's damage and then tanks up all the attacks. And he finally goes down there.
Finally does go down, but now
it took the focus of 3 people to get him down. Shamanum's going to go down too. The Michaela wasn't there. Key to this is that was a 5v4, and they still came out ahead.
Still almost won that, yes.
Yeah.
If Dragon had stayed alive just a little bit longer, I think he would have been able to get it. Looks like he sold off a form. He picked up a Defiance. That makes sense. That nice little emergency shield when you get low. I like it. It's a good pickup, I think. It is going to lower his damage somewhat, but I think he's okay with that.
Yeah. It is important to remember when you're playing as tacticians and gladiators, neither of those roles should be farming jungle creeps. It takes quite a while to actually get the gold off that. You lose a lot of health out of it too. It's just not worth it. Like, it's better for you to just be near lane minions dying if you can do so safely, or else, you know, be near a gladiator somewhere. And in a lane, like, and as a gladiator, you don't get your bonus off the jungle minions either. So
no, you don't.
Taking the farm from the jungler just puts your jungler behind ultimately. And it's also important to remember that especially if your gladiator is behind, the last thing you want to do is clear their waves at all.
Yeah.
Like, that is not helping them. The only way they're ever going to catch up is by continuing to last hit. even if they're in a bad situation. That means you need to be there with them. You don't just walk off to another lane because you don't think anything's going to happen in that lane. You're not in that lane for kills. You're in that lane to soak up, so to harass the other enemies, which you should be able to do if you chose a good tactician, and help your gladiator make money. So do that.
All this Viridian Deep Risings having to be used defensively. I don't think I've seen one aggressive Deep Rising this entire game from Panzer Delish, honestly. They're all used to have to get him out of trouble. The rest will land onto Ashabel, but not much is going to happen here. And this just looks like a Dragon's going to come in. Is he going to be able to clean up this entire fight here? Did anybody get a Pain or Corruption yet? No. So that means just Dragon just walk in there and do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because nobody's been able to buy the Mortal Strike.
And well-oiled machine tests tact greater than tests clad because she can roam. Actually, what you mean to say there is test predator better, except that predator sucks. Like, if predator did its job, then predator would be the better option for Tess. Period. Because if you're going to roam and try to get assists and kills, predator is who needs to be doing that. You're not making bonus money by doing that as a tactician.
What is a good time?
I mean, we kind of knew where that game was going. I mean, it's all random. All they got to do is build tons of armor, and then eventually it's going to overcome. So,
right.
Interesting to see though, the kills were actually similar, and the assists were dead on.
Yeah, that was only a 1 kill difference. Wow, I'm actually very, very surprised by that. But the Mortal team just had the objective control. That's all that happened. Shout! I had no clue what I was doing with Moya. Well, I mean, worked out okay for you. Oh, Ciddy did end up picking up the corruption at the very end of the game, but it just came out way too late.
Yeah,
along with the drain and the wither.
Yeah, they needed once they could see that the other team was going armor, they needed to just stop building normal builds and start building penetration. And then that Fenmore, you needed a pain or a corruption really early.
Yeah, because across the entire Spirit team, there was a destruction and an aggression for penetration, and that's it.